today?
I'm pretty good today. How are you?
I'm doing good because this race was very fun, which
It was a
we don't really
race. This was
anticipate in Imola,
exciting.
which is a nice little
I
pleasant
know.
surprise.
It was awesome. I think it was how many years of F1 has it been now?
75, I
75?
think. Yeah. We
Crazy.
should know that a lot quicker, but 75, I think. Yeah.
75 years now.
Which is
Woo.
crazy. We've been here for what? Three of them, four of them, maybe.
Yeah, we're not even
We're
close.
here.
Wow, it's
We're still
crazy.
newbies, but we know what we're talking about kind of sometimes. But I do think it's pretty interesting that they have two of the more boring races back to back because Imola is usually pretty boring and Monaco's next week, which racing wise,
Yeah,
very boring. Everything else wise, not as boring, but we'll
I'm
see.
curious. I'm curious to see. I feel like Monaco will be interesting, hopefully. Maybe, I mean, if you think about it, if Kimmy pulls what he did the other week and ends up, we could have a, switch up there in the race because
Be
I mean,
nice.
we
And
know
all I'm
that
saying is like Imola was very fun
whoever
this year,
Paul,
so maybe we can see a
yeah,
little fun Monaco race. So long as there's not a crash on lap one, because then there's no need for anyone to pit later and we're just be driving.
exactly.
So we'll see.
Exactly.
But we
Yeah, I think
got
it's interesting.
We do. We have a couple fun things planned out. Monica, we're gonna have a normal podcast, but there have been rumblings for the week after.
Have some rumblings.
Me and Sydney are going to visit our good friend Maddie Metz in Tampa in 2 weeks, and there happens to be a race in Spain the
Yes,
day
there
we're in Tampa.
is.
So we're thinking a
I,
little live reaction, maybe not live, but at least recording us as the race is happening and trying to teach Maddie Metz about F1,
I
which we haven't run by
totally
her
think
at
we
all
should
yet.
do it. We haven't run by her at all, but I hope she would be game because I think she would enjoy it
I think she would
and
too.
it would give us something to do.
It would. We'll see, but stay tuned for that one because that one's gonna be pretty fun. But I say
That
we
would,
get right into a recap of last weekend.
let's do it.
Emilia
Entertaining.
Romagna.
Let's get at it. Let's do
Let's get
it.
at it. Um, just looking at the notes, I literally wrote very entertaining race compared to what we usually get out of Imola,
It was. I was shocked.
which started with qualifying because it was all over the place at
Oh
one
my
point.
gosh. Insane. We had insane qualifications that
We
day.
had Carlos Sainz P1 after Q2, which is awesome to see because
Insane.
Williams is so back. It's great, which is a
Lance
topic.
Stroll was, yeah, Lance Stroll was his first time he made it to Q3, I
Stroll
think,
and
correct?
Alonso were both in Q3.
Yeah,
Aston Martin was
Stroll.
looking
It was
quick.
crazy. It
They
was
were looking
insane.
very good. They made the genius decision to try to run qualifying on mediums, which no one thought to do. And the medium tire was so much better than the soft tire that
It
it
was
was
crazy.
incredible. And even in the race, they looked very good. They got screwed with a couple safety cars in the VSC,
Uh,
and I don't think either of them ended up in the points, which is
yeah, I'm looking.
unfortunate for them, but they looked very good.
Yeah, Williams did fantastic.
Williams did do fantastic.
Hadjar was up there. Hadjar
Hadjar
was
was up
up
there.
there. Kimmy.
Kimmy was looking good before he
Oh my God.
had to
And
retire.
Yuki's crash. I totally forgot about Yuki's crash.
Yes.
What a packed quals. Wow.
It was a little bit busy. Yuki, of course, one of the not gnarly may not be the right word, but one of the craziest crashes we've seen in a while.
He was
Uh,
up there.
Flipped the car, which
He
thank
was
you for the halo again, because if the halo's not there, God knows what happens there.
having Yuki Tsunoda racing.
It would be scary, but
Very scary.
you look at it, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. Like he just kind of lost the rear and went off. But the way he made contact caused the car to flip, which when it landed, it looked normal, right? No one really thought anything of it. And then you saw the replay, and it was like,
It was
oh, that's
insane. I think everybody was kind of like, oh, wait, like, is
because
he good?
he landed upright, like perfectly normal, landed upright. No one thought anything of it. And then you see the replay, and it's him barrel rolling into the catch fence.
Like, oh, wait.
Which I don't think he actually hit it. The tire barrier kind of saved him there, but
I was
you
gonna
saw
say,
like the reactions from the people in the grandstands over there. It was crazy.
it was
But
scary. It was a little scary. I was like, oh,
so needless to say, Yuki qualified dead last, started from the pit lane, but we're just happy he was okay because that was a gnarly one. Now, someone who didn't qualify so highly that we thought was going to.
Oh my
Both Ferraris and Kimi Antonelli, who all three of
dude.
them was their home race, and none of them made it to Q3.
I don't know what Ferrari was doing this weekend. Oh my God.
They made up for it in the race with a little bit of luck, for sure.
Barely.
It was a lot of luck, but they ended up P4 and P6 in the race because Lewis drove out of his mind. And for
Yeah,
once, Ferrari's strategy was actually pretty good. However, the safety car did help them a lot. Let's just say
safety
that.
car definitely helped out. I think it helped out a little bit everybody,
Which
but
it was weird, right? Because the VSC kind of screwed Leclerc because Leclerc was trying to undercut everyone. And
yeah.
then the VSC came out, so he pitted again. But then the safety car came out and he took advantage of it, which he didn't necessarily because he had to stand the old tires, but it allowed him to make some ground up,
I want to say, if I remember correctly, this was the first time that Ferrari didn't qualify top 10, correct?
this season, like both of them.
Season. I think it's been like I
I
think
think that's safe to say. They usually been in the top 10. They just haven't been in the top five where they should be.
it's been yeah, it's been a while. Because
But
they
needless to say, they made up for it a little bit. Kimmy, who brought his entire class, which was really funny,
I
to
thought
the
that was so
track,
cute. I loved that.
proceeded to have his worst weekend of his short F1 career, which sucks for him. Hometown jitters, you get it. He'll be fine. Also, the race wasn't really his fault. It was mechanical, but
Yeah, I was gonna say what's her
uh,
that
that did not go great for him, especially in qualifying. However, in qualifying, we saw Oscar and Max fighting for pole in very, very close battle again. Oscar ends up taking it, Max in second. Lando on his second run to try to get pole had the worst lap he had all weekend and didn't improve, which then allowed Mr. Consistency George Russell to take third and Lando qualify fourth.
I love it. I can't even hate on George because it's just like he delivers every week.
He does,
Every week.
which
Annoying.
this was his first time outside of the top five all season. He finished,
Oh
I
my
believe,
God.
seventh this week, right? So
He's still in though. He's always in the points though. Knock on
always
wood.
in the points, knock on wood. He did finish seventh. He was 2 seconds behind Leclerc. Um, However, we'll get to that later because the race starts. Again, Oscar on pole, and Oscar and Max get off great. George gets off unbelievably well. He was past Lando immediately, or stayed past.
Insane.
He actually passed Max
I
at
was
one point.
I was getting flashbacks to like last year. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It's crazy, but Russell probably would have taken the lead had Oscar been defending Max a little bit more because Oscar was defending from George because George got such a good start, which then let Max have quite literally the overtake of the year.
Literally
Didn't get off the brakes and just
I
flew past.
literally I can tell you when they had to do like a season recap, that's gonna be like best overtake of the year. I like that was insane.
You
I
can't even
came out of
hate him.
You can't even hate it. It was insane. I feel like 1 second it was like boom max. I was like, whoa, what happened? What was that?
It was definitely something fun to watch as a racing fan. Maybe not as a McLaren fan,
That
but as a
was
racing
yeah,
fan.
but as a racing fan, that was awesome. Like
As a
that was
racing fan,
so
it was great.
cool. That was literally so cool.
He immediately gets out to a pretty hefty lead and
God, it was
drives
crazy
away for basically the entire race. Um, Russell, who stays at third, doesn't get past Oscar, but keeps the place from Lando.
for a
Holds
while.
Lando until lap 11 when Lando finally gets past him. But by then, Lando's already a couple seconds down on Oscar, who's a couple seconds down on Max. So his race is already a little
Dominoes.
compromised.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
So then, after a lot of nothing for a little while, maybe not a lot of nothing, Leclerc tries to undercut and pits very, very early. Actually ends up working for him because he was making up places like crazy. But
I
then Oscar tried doing the same thing and it wasn't working nearly as
it
well,
go
which
it went
got Leclerc
horrible.
stuck a little bit, which kind of sucks.
It
Like,
went horrible. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what Ferrari's strategy was. I don't know if it was luck or pure strategy that it like ended up working out for them. Because if I feel like again like McLaren kind of tried to do the same thing and it just
they
kind of
almost because McLaren did it like a few laps later, right? Like a good amount of laps
yeah,
later. Ferrari almost did it so early that it allowed them to find a gap for Leclerc to kind of work in, and Oscar
weird.
didn't have that. So Leclerc got lucky with that. However, then everyone tried doing that with the exception of Max, Lando, and Albon, and they all kind of got caught out with it. Which then, speaking of caught out, Lando then pits. Not a lap later, the VSC comes out, so
Yep.
Lando immediately gets screwed.
Oh,
Oscar then pits again, which allows Lando to get past Oscar for a brief moment. Or I don't know if he was actually past him. I think he was right on him at one point.
he was right on him.
However, Max gets a free pit stop out of it and ends up 30 seconds ahead of both McLarens.
Dude, that was
What we think is going to be the end of the race right then and there, which not great. But we didn't mention it, but that VSC came out because Esty Bestie once again
Bestie's
has a
car
little bit of
died.
an issue on the car and causes the VSC and he retires yet again. So
Poor Bestie's car died.
been a little
Sadly.
rough for Esty Bestie lately. So hopefully Haas can figure it out
I
because
think
they had a double DNF today.
he's had a good season so far.
Actually, they didn't have a
All
WD,
things considered.
kept going, but yeah, he's going through it a little bit. And Behrman was having issues too. We thought he was going to retire. He didn't. I forgot about that. He didn't go
Yeah,
back.
I think something's wrong with the cars, but
Haas needs to
whatever.
figure it out. But reading it, everyone pitted, including the people who had already pitted. So everyone's on pretty even ground except for Max, who is now 30 seconds ahead of everyone.
Insane.
However, we get a little more drama, which is shocking, right? Because Kimi Antonelli then retires the same exact way that Esteban Ocon retires, but the full safety car comes out. Maybe just to
See,
make it interesting, but
I don't understand the difference. Is it because where I forget? Because I know Ocon technically retired like in the grass.
it was in the
Like
grass. It was just pulled off a little further off, so it made it a little easier for the stewards to get the
you're
car.
yeah.
Kimi didn't pull off as far or in a place that could make it as easy, so they had to bring the full safety car out because they had to bring track trucks on the grid or on the track to get it off. Um, but we're not complaining about that because it bunched everyone up again,
Not
which led
complaining.
to
Complaining.
Max, Oscar, Lando 1, 2, 3, with I believe Albon fourth. No, no, no,
Yes.
no. Leclerc
No.
fourth,
Leclerc fourth,
Albon fifth,
Albon fifth,
Lewis
and
sixth. No,
yeah.
George sixth, Lewis seventh.
George was sixth.
George is sixth because Lewis passed him. Um, kind of screwed Oscar and Charles because neither of them could pit for new tires because they didn't really have a spot to do it. Oscar then loses the place out to Lando. Leclerc forces Albon off, actually, which allows Lewis to get past Albon. Lewis then gets past Leclerc as well. And then Leclerc gives the place back to Albon for doing that, which he was making a big deal, but it probably wouldn't have mattered because Leclerc was going to have to concede it eventually anyway because his tires were so bad.
Yeah.
But
I just was I don't know. I don't really have too much of an opinion on it because I think you're right, but like I don't know. I feel like they kind of called it a little whatever.
I think Ferrari was kind of playing it safe because they knew, let's be honest here, Albon's probably going to get past him. Let's not take a 5 second penalty with it because then Russell probably gets past him
Yeah, because it
too.
doesn't even matter that. Yeah, okay. I guess okay, yeah.
So
Strategy wise,
strategy wise, they actually did a
okay.
pretty good
I
job
can
there.
see that. I can see that.
So that's how it ended up finishing. Max won by 6 seconds. Lando got second, so we got a couple points up on Oscar now, which is nice. Oscar got third. Lewis got fourth. Albon fifth. I picked the wrong Williams to get fifth. We'll go over
Crazy.
that later.
I love it though. I love it. I love this.
I
I
love
love
it too, and he
I
was
love
competitive with them even with the tires.
I know, it's crazy. I'm loving this new Williams. It's insane.
I They had a rough start to the season with Sainz having a couple DNFs, so they're not as close to Ferrari as they probably could be, but they're
Well,
looking like they're competing with them.
I feel like they totally are because at the end of the day, like I don't know, like if you I feel like if you're comparing the cars, I
Pretty even. And you even look at Sainz. Like Sainz was kind of doing great before
it
the safety
was.
cars, which
It was. I
doesn't
mean,
really help.
even
But
finished in top 10, like he still got points. It wasn't like he was
Sainz
like
finished
out of the
eighth,
point.
so he was still with those top teams despite kind of getting screwed by the safety car.
And I mean,
So
he wasn't that far behind Russell as well.
I think my P5 prediction for Sainz would have absolutely hit had it not been for that VSC. So
I could see that.
it is what it is. But Max wins by 6 seconds. Lando P2, Oscar P3. We now have a legit three-horse race for the title because Max is right on Lando's tail and Lando is right on Oscar's tail. So let's see if McLaren's going to have to prioritize someone over the other eventually just to
They're
keep
gonna have
Max.
to figure it out because it's a 10 point spread between all three of them.
I was having this debate with one of my friends the other day. You probably can't do this right now, especially with Oscar leading the championship, but you have to know if you're McLaren, Lando's gonna pass Oscar, right? Like Oscar's tires are so bad, Lando's are brand new. Why would you not let Lando pass Oscar earlier to at least get a chance at going after Max and taking some points from him?
I literally have no freaking idea. I don't know what their problem. I feel like we talk about this so much. Like McLaren's gonna have an issue, and I it's literally either going to make or break this team.
Which this was to prevent that issue, right? Because like Oscar's leading the championship right now, like he's never going to give Lando that spot and just let Lando go by him because he's his number one rival, right? But if you're Oscar, at some point you have to realize that Max is the same, if not a bigger threat than Lando right now, because people
Literally,
aren't talking about it. The Red Bull car is fast. Like that car was flying this weekend. It's just Yuki was in the other one, so we didn't get to see it.
Max got upgrades. Did he not get
I
upgrades?
believe he did. Actually, I know he did because they said Horner was going to get fired if it didn't work.
Yeah, I'm
So
pretty sure
he
Max
definitely did, and it showed, right?
something worked.
So I feel like Red Bull, you can't count Max out right now because that car looks quick.
You can't because at the end of the day, I'm looking at it right now. Max is just sitting right now at 124 points. Lando's only got 133. So
What's Oscar at? Oscar's at like 145,
146.
146.
So whoever wins this next race,
Oh, and also just a reminder that George Russell is also
he's at 99 points.
like
Again,
he's right there
I mean,
too.
if he won next race,
He has to win a race or two, but like
could be
he's
up in the
not out of it either. Like
dude, it's literally whoever it's gonna keep going back and forth, whoever wins the most first place. I mean, obviously. I don't know. I guess we'll see. All I can say is whichever four of these people falls out of the top five once, I think is out of contention.
which is why Max is not winning. We're in second right now. Like Max has won more races than Lando has, but Max has also finished outside of the top five or top three at least a couple times. I think Lando has only finished outside the top three like one time this year, if that.
Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, I would say now, starting now, whichever one of these four lovely individuals starts scoring out of the top five are no longer in contention.
Lando got fourth in Saudi, and I believe that's it. Yeah, that's the only time he's been outside the top five or outside the top three. Excuse me. Max got fourth in China. He got first in Japan. He got sixth in Bahrain, which is what ruined him. Saudi, he got second. Miami, he got fourth. So he's been out of the top three a couple times, which is why he's not winning this championship right now. So we have to see if he can figure that out. It's Max Verstappen. He's gonna figure it out. Now that he has some upgrades, I'd be very afraid if I was McLaren. That's just me.
They need to sit down and be like contingency plan. They need to get their priorities straight. I feel like they just need to get their priorities straight. Like,
They're gonna win the constructors, right? That's not
yeah,
gonna be an issue.
okay, yeah,
You
no,
have
if
to
it
pick
is,
someone
but
you either have to pick someone or you have to tell them both. Max is a priority. If one of you can beat
exactly,
him on a specific weekend, we're gonna let you try.
exactly. I agree. I agree. I agree. I
And
agree.
if
I
it
agree.
means sacrificing someone else's race to go try to get Max, you should be doing it.
Then it needs to happen because I fully agree. I think that's yeah. They need to get their priorities straight.
Exactly. But that's going to be some topics for the next couple of weeks because I'm sure
I mean,
Monaco may
Lord
not be
only
the best
knows.
race to kind of show that. Like whoever qualifies first in Monaco is going to win the race. My
Literally.
guess is
But
Oscar probably is going to qualify first and win this race.
yeah, but I don't know at the rate that all of these qualifying has been going. Lord only knows at this point. It could be
I'm just
summer
doing that based on last
also.
year because Oscar qualified second last year before he was really kind of finding his groove, and the only person he was behind was Charles Leclerc, who won the race. So I
Yeah,
feel like it's Oscar's race to lose. It's his home race, quote unquote. So,
quote unquote.
but speaking of races, Imola. Have we seen the last Imola Grand Prix? Because
Hope
there's been
not.
rumors that this might be the last one, and it sucks because this race has so much history and so much, maybe not good history at times, because obviously Senna and all that. However, this year's race, I feel like kind of gave it a little last bit of glory that it needed.
I don't, okay, but that's so, I don't know. That's so sad to see though, that if they do end up taking Imola like out of the series, like why would you take such a history rich,
They're saying they're going to be doing it to make room for Madrid when it comes in.
well, and then take out something else? Like that makes zero sense to me.
What race would you take out? You can't take Monaco out. That's probably the least entertaining, right? A lot of them just got extended. Like Miami just got extended. That's probably a pretty not fun race either. Like,
Which again, I feel like we talked about it when it was a Miami race. It's literally just a freaking celebrity photo op.
exactly what it is.
I
But
don't know, actually I'm curious. I don't even know what race I would take out, but I wouldn't take out like you can't do that. Or maybe they should do a rotation or something.
that's a good point, actually. Because, like, they did take a couple years off of Imola and then they brought it back. It's just a matter of you have to have a specific number of races. And, like, there's specific races that you're never going to take out, right? Like, you're never taking Vegas out. You're never taking Saudi out. You're not taking Bahrain out. You're not taking Silverstone out. Like, there's races you can't get rid of. So you have to keep those. You can't get rid of Miami now because you extended it. I guess you can get rid of Austin, except that's the best race in America, so I don't know why you'd want to. Like, it's it,
Yeah, because you can't really get rid of Monza.
you can't get rid of Monaco. Like, as much as people want them to get rid of Monaco, you have to just see what the new regulations do before you can do that, you know?
Well, haven't we heard speculation too that they're going to do like an African race as well?
There's speculation on that. There's nothing really
South South Africa or something like that.
that would be where it is.
I just
They
remember
haven't really
hearing.
said much about it just because it hasn't really come to fruition. They have so much going on with expansion teams that they can't.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be mad if they got rid of the Vegas race.
I would. Honestly, the Vegas race is so fun.
I would say either the Vegas or Miami race. I would be perfectly fine with
Of
them.
course, I would get rid of Miami before Vegas in a heartbeat, right? But when you
Okay,
look
that's
at
fair.
the first year's Vegas race was shambles, right? Like qualifying with signs and all that was awful, right? Logistically
Yeah.
terrible. The actual race was really, really good. Last year, they figured it all out and it wasn't an issue. The race was again really, really good. So Vegas
Mhm.
as a race is actually really good. It's just the logistic wise was awful. I don't think you can get rid of Vegas, especially with it being Vegas. If you're gonna get rid of anything, it would be Miami, but they just extended it, so you can't.
I know, that's what I said. Can't get rid of. I don't know why they did that.
I'm curious. Track.
It's just totally a money grab, which is really annoying because I feel like they could have done that with Vegas like tenfold, but
I want
whatever.
to see the years of each contract, right? So Emilio Romagna, final year of his contract is this year, right? You have Dutch
Yeah,
expiring in 2026. You're not getting rid of that. Dutch is great.
can't get rid of
Circuit of
Dutch Race.
America is 2026. So Austin.
If they get rid of Austin, I'm going to literally fight somebody.
I would hate that because I think Austin is the best race in America, right?
Oh my God, I think we have to go to Austin this year then.
Now we have next year at least. We have time.
Okay, we'll go next
We
year
have at
then.
least 2 years.
We'll go next year.
Uh, Barcelona is expiring at 26. If anything, I would say you get rid of Barcelona because you are getting another Spanish race anyway, right?
See, I don't.
And then there's Azerbaijan expiring in 2026. I personally love that race, so I would never want to get
It
rid of
is.
it.
I was gonna
So
say I want to
the
race.
castle, I am stupid. Charles Leclerc, you can't get rid of that. So
Aren't we gonna? Aren't they supposed to be getting rid of Spa too?
Spa,
I thought they were getting rid of Spa, the Belgian Grand Prix.
let me see. Rotational after 2027 and expires in 2031. So they're on rotation.
So they already do rotation.
So like
Interesting.
it's on rotation, it's not gonna be every year. They also have Vegas is expiring in 2025, but they have an option year, like how an NFL contract would be. If they opt into it, they would be extended till 2032. I can't imagine they'd opt out of it. So Vegas is kind of stuck too. Australia is until 2037 that got extended, and I believe Miami, which isn't on this list, got extended until 2042. So you got a while on that.
2042.
Yeah. So long while. They've got a lot of things to figure out. Maybe they extend a season. I don't think that would go well, but we'll see. 2042.
20 years
Let me make sure of
of
that.
Miami?
Like
There's no way. I thought it was like 2038.
2041. I was a year off.
My God. I
I
kind
think it's the worst race on the calendar.
I
Straight
kind of
up. And we're American and we're saying that. I think it
I
sucks.
actually hate that.
So
Oh.
if you're gonna do some race, like one, if you're doing a race in Miami, we've talked about this before. Should have done a street circuit, right? Probably
Yeah,
should have done the street circuit there. Should have done a circuit in New York.
the
Street
freaking
circuit in New York.
football stadium
Like,
parking lot.
there's
Like,
so many better places. Like you could have done a street circuit in LA. You could have done a street circuit in New York. Street circuit in Chicago. Granted, all of them.
Chicago would have been even cool.
le-
Like even Nashville would have been sick.
They'd be logistical nightmares, right?
Who
That's
cares?
not our problem, right? Who cares? There's just so many better options. They were thinking about a New York race at one point. Lewis did a whole promotion for it at one point.
Oh my God.
If they
I
did
did
a New
every
York race, I'd be there every year.
20 more years. I can only take so much Miami football Dolphins, whatever. No, I can't.
Hey, we need a Wilmington Grand Prix.
Wilmington's crazy.
Philly
Philadelphia would be cool.
would be fun. It's so congested though. Like,
Dude, but it would be so cool. I mean, it's like the
but New York is too, to be fair.
Philly.
The Philly Grand Prix. Yeah,
Yeah, the Philly
that's an
Grand Prix.
idea, but
The Liberty Bell. Think about it. All the history, the Constitution and stuff.
that'd be interesting.
That'd be American.
We could have a whole episode going over ideas of what cities to put in because I
Yeah,
think we're
our
off on that. South
we could do like
Africa, like we
design your
talked
own,
about, like
design
there's
your
so
own
many,
money,
right?
design
But
your own.
we should probably get back into it because this is going to be a little bit of a longer episode because we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
We need to hurry up.
Williams, we'll be quick with it. We talked about it a little bit last week. They're very, 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 very
Williams is
much back.
back. I'm excited. I love it. They're back. I think this race just proved once again that they are so, so back. I agree when you said, had there not been the safety car, Sainz probably would have done better than what, P8?
I mean, he would have been ahead of the Ferraris,
I
which I think Russell would have been too, but like
I think Williams is back. I
Sainz is
think we can
P8 anyway,
confidently
so he would have been
say,
like P6, P7, or P6, P5.
I
Like,
think we can, yeah, I think Williams is competing with Ferrari at this point.
and the Mercedes because Kimi was behind both of them before that
Ah,
happened anyway. But
yeah. Oh my God, yeah. They
it's
might not be the best of the rest anymore. They might be the
That might be
bottom.
the worst of the top, like,
Yeah,
which is probably better. So
it's insane. That's insane to say that.
I'm not convinced they're slower than Ferrari. Like, there's the memes
There's
on
no way they're slower than
there's the
Ferrari.
memes on Instagram that Carlos Sainz actually got an upgraded seat because he left Ferrari and went to Williams. Like,
I mean, with the way that they've been, yeah, I honestly would not disagree with you. You know what I should do this weekend?
what's that?
I like the F1 TV app has like you can see all the monitors and stuff for like each car, like the data.
Really?
Have you seen that?
I have seen that, but I use YouTube TV because it's easy and I don't want to pay for F1 TV.
I don't like I'll see if I can figure it out because I'm wondering if it gives you like the speeds or like the average speeds of the cars. I'm wondering if we could actually figure out.
I think they give you all of that, but I don't know.
I'll have to check.
We will check that. But in the meantime, we wanted to be quick with Williams. There's really not much to say with them. We just think they're back
Nope,
and they're going
they're
to be
back.
back for a while. It's
Williams
going
is
to be
back.
great. I'm going to make this bold prediction now, and you can come back to this at the end of the season. We're going to see a Williams podium this year. I'm not saying next year. I'm saying this year.
I believe it.
Albon was in a podium position on Sunday for a good
I
amount
believe
of time. So
I so believe it. I don't know when or how it'll happen, but I believe it.
it'll
I
take Max and Lando or Oscar and Lando or Oscar and Max going a little too hard at each other and crashing
yeah.
each other out.
What was it? Was it the Brazilian Grand Prix
Last
last year
year it
that happened?
was
Was it like Gasly that ended
oh
up?
Belgium. Was it not Spa where Max and no, maybe not Spa. It was the Dutch Grand Prix that Max and
I
Lando took
can't
out.
remember because I remember that end of the season. It was just like it all blended together because it was just
Yeah,
chaos.
it's crazy, but it's gonna happen. Williams will be at a podium spot this year. But let's talk some fantasy because this was the wildest week we've had in a while because it was basically reverse of what it's been, like completely reverse.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it to be honest with you.
So in the friend league, right? Nick got last. The issue is you were second to last and I was middle, which we were all within like 5 points of each other. Zook
Huh?
and Peter went one at 199. Zook's went second at 189. I had 153, you had 149, and Nick had 138. So we didn't make up anything on Nick. He just had the worst week out of all, which is really
He did.
annoying because Alonso should have been a lot better than he was. And I had negative 13 out of house.
How did he have such a bad week?
Actually, I didn't. What am I talking about? I had negative 10 because I did an extra transfer because I'm an idiot. But
I had 149. Yeah, you had 153. So you were technically 163. Even still, you weren't even the top. You were still be in the same spot.
that's ridiculous.
What?
I'm not changing my team because there's nothing to do. Like, Franco will be better. Ollie's been fine. Hajar's been the best acquisition any of us have ever made. He's been so good. And then Lando's not going anywhere. Oscar's not going anywhere. Albon is figuring it out. I'm loving my team right now. I'm not changing it.
I'm not gonna change mine either. I like my team.
Now,
I'm not confident enough to put Max in over Oscar Orlando, so
I actually took Max out because he's more expensive somehow. But
that too.
now, if we go to F1 predict, I didn't actually look at this yet.
I don't think I looked at it either. I don't even know how to get to it. There we go.
My results.
Okay, I
Neither
feel like
Romano.
we're a little uneven here. I feel like we need to just compare you and me for now because I'm pretty sure your dad has like 4 races on us.
He does. I'm pretty sure I'm still right on him, but it's fine.
I don't think I'm doing so hot.
So he's in first with 233. I'm in second with 214, and I missed a couple races. So I'm just saying, I'm all
I'm
over it.
doing really good.
Tori was 182. You're at 128. So we'll look at last week, right? I don't know what you got. It doesn't show me what you got for last week, but I got 61 points last week.
Last week so for Imola I got 72 points actually. And then for Miami I got 56. So you have me beat on that one. We didn't do Saudi, we didn't do Bahrain, we didn't do Japan, we didn't do China, we didn't do Australia.
Well, we're here now. So let's do
Done
this one.
two.
Let's do this one. Never mind. We can't do this one yet. It's not open yet. It opens tomorrow, I believe. So
Really?
we cannot do it. However, we're gonna do it on our own time and we're gonna go over it next week. All right?
Let's do it.
We can do that. I had
I think
67 in Miami, 61 in Imola. And that's cool.
wait, let me check the calendar real quick. Wow, we do have a triple header. Okay.
We have Monaco and then we have Barcelona. So we have a lot going on. But
Sweet.
now that that's done, I say we make some predictions for next week and go over our predictions of
I don't
last week.
know anymore,
Because
bro.
last week City made up some ground a little bit. I went 0 for 5 last week and didn't get the bonus. Neither of us got the bonus, so we're gonna just wipe that out, right? I had Lando, Oscar, George, Max, Carlos. Lando got second, I had him in first. Oscar got third, I had him in second. George wasn't even in the top five. Max won the race, and I got the wrong Williams in the top five. But I called it, and I will forever say that I called it because it was a great call.
It was a great call. It was a really good call.
So I got 0 points. However, City did get something to crawl back a little bit.
A little bit.
Oscar in first. Didn't happen. Lando in second. Did happen. So Sydney is back up with 4 points.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
George
Wow.
in third. Did not happen. Max in fourth obviously didn't happen. Leclerc in fifth. Would have happened.
Had.
However,
Oh.
unfortunate.
So
So Leclerc did not get anything. She had Hadjar at 13th. I had Franco in 13th. Neither of those happened. However, Sydney's up a couple points now. We're
what
up to
point
21
before
to
the get
9.
to the 9?
21 to 9 now. I'm still winning.
Slow and steady wins the race,
Slow and
right?
steady does win the race, but now it is time to make our predictions for Monaco. I'll go
I'm
first with this one because again, I'm winning, so I'll go first so you can adjust. First place. I think I said it before. I'm rolling Oscar Piastri this week. Qualified second last year in Monaco, finished second in Monaco. He's a lot faster than everyone else. He's apparently pretty good at this track. He's getting first. And just to
okay.
go over the results of last year, Leclerc 1, Piastri 2, Sainz 3, Lando 4, Russell 5. Max was 6. He was out of it. This year, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Oscar's going 1. I want to put Lando, but I don't think
Dude,
should.
it's so freaking hard now. I kind of just want to flip a coin.
He
Like,
hasn't been qualifying well. Like, that's what it is.
see, that's the thing is you have to base it off qualifying because literally wherever they sit qualifying is what the race is gonna be. Like, hmm.
It's a hard one. It's a very, very hard one. You know what? I'm also kind of feeling that some chaos is going to happen this week because
Me too. I don't know
we
why.
all know that there's going to be an aggressive turn one, right? Because they know that if they get ahead early, stuff's going to happen, right? Like they're going to win the race, they get ahead early. I almost think Max and Oscar,
George for some reason.
someone's going to get aggressive.
Somebody's gonna be really ballsy about this, and I'm scared who it's gonna be.
I have the benefits of being able to do this right now, so I'm going to, right? Oscar's going to win. It's fine.
Okay.
Max and Lando are going to get up to some shenanigans on turn one. They're going to screw each other's races up. I don't think either of them getting top five. So, Oscar won. We're gonna roll George second. We're gonna roll Lewis third.
That's
He's looked a lot better lately.
bold.
We're gonna roll Albon fourth, and we're gonna roll Charles fifth.
Wow. That's crazy lineup. You got a lot of faith in these Ferrari and Williams drivers, is all I'm gonna
No,
say.
I'm only doing this because I think if it's not Max and Lando, it is gonna be one. It's going to be two of the three, right?
That's
Two of
crazy.
the three of Oscar, Lando, and Max are going to do something on turn one because they know they have to get ahead of everyone at the first turn to win this race. They're going to screw someone up. So I'm rolling with that.
That's crazy.
Is that going to come back to bite me? Probably,
Probably.
but I'm up 12 points. I have space. So we'll do
Yeah.
the we'll do the extra one after. Let's hear your top five.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
I am ready.
On a whim, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go Lando P1. Lando P1. I'm gonna go George too. I was agreeing with you on that one. I thought the same thing. I don't know why. I feel like George needs to, I don't know, whatever. Third.
And I will say this too. It's like I think Lewis has been better, and I think they've looked pretty like last week is a sign of hope, right? And I know Lewis has the experience in Monaco. I really want to put him second and put George third, but I don't think I can.
I don't know about all that.
But I also just want to see Lewis do well. So
I don't know.
continue.
I don't know who I want in third. I'm gonna put, you know what? Let's go Leclerc. Why not?
Leclerc third,
I'm gonna go Oscar fourth.
Oscar fourth.
And you know what? Let's go on the Williams train and let's put signs. I'm gonna put Max on the top five.
We're getting bold again. Very, very bold again.
I'm not mad about it because I agree with you in the sense that I think chaos is going to ensue this weekend. I am
Great.
scared.
It is going to be great.
I don't
And
even know what the
now
weather's supposed to look like. Is it gonna
I
rain?
probably should. Let's actually see. What is the weather in Monaco on
I
Sunday?
don't know, but I have a feeling that chaos is going to ensue.
Sunday, Monaco, 66 and sunny. So we should be fine,
Okay, so then weather's not a problem then.
which is good because that means we're not going to get a random pit stop for no reason. But random number generator time. We go what,
But
6 through 20.
let's do it.
You tell me when you're ready. I will do mine when we are ready.
Let's do it.
Can we see it? I just gotta unblur. All right, so you do see it.
Oh, yeah, mine's still 6 to 20.
I didn't click it, so 9 isn't what it's gonna be. I'm ready when you are. I'll let you
Ready?
spin first because
Three,
mine goes instantly.
2, 1, go.
Generate. All right, I'm going for 10th. Back-to-back weeks of the same. Oh, number
Oh, I went with
four.
9. Oh, wait, still. Oh,
9th for
wait.
you, 10th for me.
Oh, man. Ah,
Tough one. That's like the worst one to possibly be in.
I have 9. Oh,
So just for argument's sake, last year 9th was Albon and last year 10th was Gasly. I think we already know Albon's going to be higher, so
yeah.
I'm going to not put that. And then let's look at the results from last week.
You know what? I'm gonna go Hadjar again. I don't know why.
Even after last week, he looked very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hadjar.
Last week, Yuki was 10th and
Oh
Hadjar
yeah, we
was
didn't even
9th.
talk about that. Yuki went from P20 to P10.
He did. He looked very good doing it, but he
He
also
looked great.
benefited from a lot of safety cars. But 9th, you're going
I
Isaac.
mean, yeah, great. Yeah, I'm gonna go Hadjar again.
All right, and he got 9th last week, so that could be a good
He's
shout.
always consistent within like 8, 9, 10, and then like 13.
I because I think two of the top three are going to DNF. I think that's going to open up some opportunities for people that don't usually get points to score some points.
Bestie, bestie.
No,
Aw, man.
I'm going to roll Lance Stroll
Okay, I can see that.
because they looked quick last week.
Actually, I was gonna say he's actually been
He looked
pretty
very good
decent this.
last week.
I can't complain about his driving this season. He's not a complete crash out,
He has
so
not been that bad, which is very rare for him, right? So
shocking. I kind of wish they were doing better, but as a team, it would be kind of interesting to see them finally compete. But
last week is a
bangers.
hopefully something that they can keep up then because they did look good
Yeah,
last week
it'd be kind of
despite the
cool to
lack
see
of points.
Aston get up there, I guess. It's
I'm gonna go
weird.
Stroll and 10th, and just because I don't need to predict this, but I'm going to. Kimmy's gonna get 6th, Alonso's gonna get 7th. And then we can figure out whatever's 8th and 9th. I don't really care. So Yuki will probably be 1 or 8th or 9th, and then someone random will be
I
9th.
was gonna say, I feel like Gasly has to get one up there.
But yeah,
Or maybe, you know what? Maybe Franco will finally get it together.
Franco finally getting it together. He just was in the car for a week. He'll be fine. Just give him some time. But
I don't
I think it's
know.
all we gotta talk about right now, right?
I
We've
think
covered
so.
everything. I think the timing is pretty good as it always is. So we're
Yeah, I
good.
think it's like perfect, actually.
But
Aw-
Monaco, historic race, the race that we're gonna go to one day.
One day.
Film a podcast in Monaco. It's the
No,
end
we're
goal.
gonna go to the casino. We're gonna go to the race. Oh my God, it's gonna be so pretty. Better yet, let's get on a boat.
Let's buy a yacht.
Let's get a yacht.
Perfect.
I love it.
But for now, we will enjoy our couches and wherever we may be watching these races before we go to Monaco. But
Okay,
one day we'll do it.
one
So
day.
thank you guys for watching. Trip to Monaco. Help us get there. We're gonna get there one day.
No, let's go.
And we will
Triple
see you
header.
later. We will see you next week.
Let's do it.